拡散してください。
From the A Company Management Division chat logs. Sorry for sending this so late, but it's an emergency. Can anyone reply? This is Kazuma. What's wrong? It is forbidden to approach the south elevator during the designated time. What's the meaning behind this company rule? I've just finished working overtime and was about to go home, but that elevator was lit up, even though everything else is turned off. Calm down. Are you in the hall right now? Yes. Quickly return to the office and hide. Ignore any sounds. Contact me as soon as the sounds disappear. Was that a pram? Sorry. The sound disappeared. There it is again. Where are you? Kazuma-san? That wasn't me. Don't answer it. Where are you? To Hikari-san's mother. It's time to pick her up. She's waiting with Yuto-kun. To Kazuma-san. The sound disappeared. To Harada-kun. Good job. Can I talk to you tomorrow? You should be fine to go home now. Harada's conversation, alias. Good to see you. Sorry about that chat yesterday. Kazuma-san got angry at me after that, but she explained it to me in simple terms. So, this company is haunted, huh? Did you know? Apparently this place used to be a children's center. They don't know why it closed, but what I saw was probably someone from that time. The children's center's name? Sorry, it was a pretty common name, so I honestly don't remember it. But even after that, I guess, danger past and God forgotten, or however that goes. Has anyone else ever run into the same thing? So I really was the first then? Huh? But then, why does the company rule exist? You should be careful too. You sometimes work overtime as well. I've got to go. The meeting? Nah, didn't they say there wasn't one today? See, look at the time. It's time to go. Kazuma Aoi's conversation, alias 1. I'm terribly sorry for what happened. You were the last person to talk to Harada-kun, yes? I know. There's something different in what I explained to Harada-kun and what you know. That's right. It won't do good to waffle on, so I'll explain it quickly. First, this building we're in. The floor we're on used to be a children's center. You heard that from Harada-kun and then looked into it yourself, didn't you? That's right. And that's why you realized, yes? Apparently, Harada-kun said what he saw was someone from that time, but there's no way he could have. After all, the children's center never opened because of management scandals. And it was left empty, as though they had done a runner during the night. Kazuma Aoi's conversation, alias 2. The name and interior were left as is for a while, but this all happened several decades ago. So then, what did Harada-kun run into? Hey, do you remember the night Harada-kun sent those messages in the company chat? I spoke to him, and then it left. How did I know how to deal with it? The real way to deal with it is to talk about it as little as possible. Or more correctly, not to remember its name or shape. It was originally a subtle presence that you could brush off as just your imagination or seeing things. But when rumors thoughtlessly began to spread, more and more people saw it. That's why the company rule was made. I messed up. I shouldn't have called its name. I shouldn't have thought about what it looks like. I did it over and over. I did what my superior did when I originally ran into it. But I regret that now. It's no doubt my fault Harada-kun lost his mind. Security Diary Excerpt. October 15th. Person in charge, Kimura. 9:15 p.m. Malfunction or abnormality in the broadcasting facility. No abnormality in equipment. A strange broadcast aired twice, alongside a light. The contents are as follows. The building will close shortly. Please make sure you don't forget anything as you leave. Children who are waiting for their family, please go to the playroom on the first floor. November 9. Person in charge, Hosogawa. Reports that a suspicious person is calling out to people passing the entrance on the first floor. A young man in a suit asks, "Do you know?" Each company has been informed to alert security if they see him. December 17th. Important. Also urgently notify Security Company O. Regarding the suspicious person from November 9th. Responding to or attempting to converse with the subject is expressly forbidden. If you recognize him, take the same measures and report to the security office the moment you see him. Information to be sent. Tada, Operations Division, has requested a company-owned vehicle to visit a sick loved one. May change depending on the situation. Answering machine recording. January 28th, 2:47 a.m. Playback. Good job today. There's something I'd like to ask you. How are you feeling? Is that so? It was terrible what happened with Kazuma-san. Getting wrapped up in such trouble. Eh? Children? No, I'm alone. I mean, I've always... Section manager, is there really nothing haunting our company? With both Harada-san and Kazuma-san, Don't you think it's a bit strange? Eh? Right now? I've just gotten in the elevator. But something is weird. Huh? Why did you forget? And then call me? This building only has 5 floors, right? The elevator hasn't stopped, and now it's on the 9th floor. What should I do? Hey, don't laugh. Answer me. There's something rather noisy on the other side of the door, like someone's hitting it. But it's a low sound. Hey, please don't laugh. Child, I said I don't have any. Don't laugh. Shut up. Stop laughing. Recording time, 1 minute and 17 seconds. Playback ended. Summary of what I heard from Tada Kaori. Yes, these are all the documents to be handed over. There is some additional information, so let me share it with you. First, regarding the missed call, it came from employee S in our sales department, who called the company from outside. On this particular day, she had been out on business all day and was scheduled to return straight home from work. But the next day she didn't show up for work, and there was no contact from her either. As all of this was going on, the security room discovered this recording. Normally, if you call the company at this time, it would connect to the security room. But for some reason, it connected with the section manager, meaning me. As you can understand from listening to it, she appears to be having a conversation with someone on the phone. I have no recollection whatsoever of talking with her. We don't know who S was talking to or what happened to her. This phone call was the last time anyone heard from her. As such, there is no way to confirm what happened. May I bring up one more thing? The suspicious man in the security logs. I had them show me the security footage. No doubt about it, that man is Harada-kun. But there are several points that make me question whether it's really him. I'm a little worried about whether I can convey it well, but let me explain what I saw. Our security camera is located a few meters from the entrance. At first, the footage shows the regular building entrance. Before long, some feet appear. You can tell it's Harada-san from the clothes, but the way he walks is strange. You often see children do the same thing, right? When they're crossing the road or following some tiles and they deliberately step on them. He approached the door jumping over one set of tiles each. A grown man should be able to cover that distance normally by just walking, but he doesn't seem to understand that. He forces his body to bend and jump. He slowly comes into view of the camera, like a broken spring toy. When he's fully in view, he suddenly stops and looks at the camera. At the time, there is no expression on his face. You could almost say it's like his expression has slipped away. But he looks right at the camera, realizes it's there, and then looks incredibly happy. Then he turns around, still smiling, and says, "Mom, look!" He sounds just like a young boy. Then, once he says that, there's a rattling, creaking sound, like something rolling just off screen. I quickly stopped the playback there. What was I afraid of? Well, having heard all this, I think you know. I finally spoke for the first time. I'm terribly sorry to bring this up now, but can I ask you something? What is it? I don't think this is the right thing to do. Spreading this story, that is. Tada-san seemed to clearly understand what I meant and shook her head. No. On the contrary, I'd like to spread the story. Meaning, I told you that this sequence of events was about something shaped by recognizing it, right? Yes. Once something has been recognized, it cannot be set back to zero. Tada-san said this in a rather forceful tone. Trying to get rid of it won't work. It will just get bigger and bigger. That's why I thought of doing this instead. I was so overwhelmed that I couldn't speak. I heard that you collect scary stories and share them over social media. I'm terribly sorry it's such a vague story, but don't you think scary stories like this are a dime a dozen? So please recognize this as a common story as well. Spread the word and then let it be buried. Or I have no idea what will happen next. Tada-san said, drinking all the water in her glass in a single gulp.